Today, we are going to discuss the oversaturation of everybody's favorite game mode, Battle Royale. The game mode has been around for a while, ever since PlayerUnknown created the mod for Arma 2 and Arma 3 many years back. The mode was based off the 2000 Japanese movie of the same name. I remember the Arma 3 Battle Royale mod being really popular in 2014 and 2015 on Twitch. Lots of people were streaming it on a daily basis, but it never really reached a wider audience because Arma 3 was PC only, and even though PC gaming has been popular for a long time, there's a large chunk of gamers out there who only own consoles because they feel gaming PCs are too expensive or complicated, which is somewhat true for the most part. It wasn't until Fortnite BR released in September of 2017 did Battle Royale games really start gaining popularity because Fortnite BR released as a free-to-play game on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation and gained a massive fan base in a matter of months. Being free-to-play and on both consoles really helped boost its popularity past the competition. Now I know I just skipped over H1Z1 and PUBG, don't worry, I'm getting to that right now. So before the king of the BR games, Fortnite, reigned supreme, there was another king of the genre, and that was H1Z1, King of the Kill. King of the Kill wasn't its original name. H1Z1 was released in January 2015 to early access on Steam. The game's main focus was supposed to be its survival mode, which was being called a DayZ killer by lots of people at the time. But since the early access of H1 also launched with a Battle Royale mode, the survival mode pretty much became obsolete. Everybody started playing the BR mode more, and the survival servers were becoming less and less populated. It seemed like the devs gave up on survival because it was rarely getting any new updates, quite like DayZ standalone over the past 2 years. Those sorry fuckers. Anyways, eventually, the devs decided to split H1Z1 into 2 games and sell them for $20 a pop, when the whole game used to be $20 and you got both modes. King of the Kill was getting pretty consistent updates and lots of microtransactions added in the form of cosmetics and weapon skins, which is what all the games are doing nowadays. After H1Z1's BR mode stayed popular for a decent amount of time, PlayerUnknown, the creator of the mode, decided it was time he created his own standalone game called Battlegrounds, aka PUBG as everybody likes to call it. The game gained a massive following in the PC gaming community during its alpha stages, even before it officially released to Steam Early Access. When the game's release date was announced, its limited pre-orders, which came with a limited edition outfit, sold out fairly quickly. Those lucky enough to pre-order ended up making their money back tenfold by selling that outfit in the Steam market. I sadly was not one of those people, and I punch myself in the dick every time I think about how I could have an extra $1,000 in my Steam wallet if I would have just pre-ordered the damn game. I was such a fucking retard. But anyways, I digress. So PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds was a force to be reckoned with. It ended up selling 1 million copies in a little over 2 weeks and over 2 million copies within that same month. On top of that, it broke the record for the most concurrent players on Steam by having over 3 million people playing at the same time. It ended up beating Dota 2, whose top concurrent players were 1.9 million. PUBG's insane success was seen by everybody worldwide, especially the game publishers and game developers. Now that brings us back to Fortnite. The base game of Fortnite was in development for a very long time. The game was first revealed at the 2011 Spike Video Game Awards and didn't finally release until July 25th of 2017. Fortnite was supposed to be a co-op, build-a-base survival game, but that mode wasn't bringing in the money and player numbers that they had hoped for. So they took a page out of PlayerUnknown's book and created a Battle Royale mode for the game within 2 months and released that in September, which began their ascension to the throne. After Fortnite's BR mode released, a lot of PUBG players started to dwindle because those players were playing Fortnite. And a lot of PUBG streamers decided to make the switch to Fortnite, and a good chunk actually became quite successful because of it. But none as successful as Ninja. I don't know why, out of all the streamers, Ninja was the one who became the top dog, but he did. He was always a popular streamer, pulling thousands of viewers, but thanks to Fortnite, his viewership skyrocketed, and now he's pulling over 100,000 every stream. He has the most viewers, most followers, most subscribers, and I'm sure the most money. A free-to-play game allowed him to become the face of Twitch, and by the end of the year, a freaking multi-millionaire. He's played with famous rappers and athletes, and just had his own tournament named after him, where he only won 1 match out of 9, which I'm sure was quite embarrassing since he's supposed to be a Fortnite god, according to his preteen Pon Pon posse. That tournament was proof that Ninja isn't the best. There are so many unknown people better than him, they just needed their time to shine. I do applaud Ninja for his generosity though. He's helped out lots of people and donated to many charities, so there is good that comes out of Fortnite. But while there are some good, there is also an ass load of bad and cringe-inducing content out there. Fortnite has pretty much ruined YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for me, because you can't scroll your feeds on anything these days without seeing a post about Fortnite. You don't even have to follow the game for that shit to just pop up at your eyeballs. And YouTube is the worst culprit. It's a cesspool for clickbait Fortnite videos, claiming to give away V-Bucks, claiming to show titties, claiming to have new this, new that, claiming to have unreleased content, claiming to know when the comet's gonna strike tilted towers, and yada yada yada. Just shut the fuck up. And what makes it so bad is that these clickbaiters are making a massive profit from this type of shit, because kids are so desperate and naive that they fall for all of it and cause these terrible content creators to rise to YouTube fame and reel in all that glorious ad revenue. Hell, my channel was shut down for clickbait back in 2015 for 5 months. So YouTube needs to do something about the 1 million Fortnite clickbaiters and cleanse the website of all this shit. I missed out on a lot of views, subs, and ad revenue, so these fucks should experience the same turmoil. Alright, I said my piece about that bullshit. Now let's refocus on the topic of this video. So I've talked about the main games in the discussion. Now let's talk about other BR games that are out now or overpopulating the bandwagon later this year. Now everybody is hopping on and wanting a piece of the pie, but eventually there's not going to be enough to go around. There's only so many games that can succeed in a specific genre. The rest, not so much. Seems like the creativity has become stagnant. Other than first-party studios working on PlayStation exclusives, we're not really seeing any creative new IPs being talked about. Battle Royale seems to be the main topic when talking about future game releases. And it has me worried that all E3 presentations are going to show off one BR game after the other. And that's not something to be hyped about, even if you are a fan of the genre. Hell, I'm a fan of the genre to an extent, but there needs to be innovation with future entries. If you're going to make a BR game, look at all the ones out now. Think of how you can do it differently and better. And if you feel like you can't, then don't even waste your time creating one. So anyways, let's go ahead and read a list of Battle Royale games out right now or either releasing later this year. They are Arma 2 and Arma 3 Battle Royale mod, H1Z1 King of the Kill, The Coaling, PUBG Fortnite, The Darwin Project, Rings of Elysium, Islands of Nyne, Rules of Survival, Proxima Royale, Radical Heights, Deathfield, The Battle Royale of Disaster, Mavericks, Proving Grounds, Fear the Wolves, Desolation, and then there's the rumored BR modes for Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Red Dead Redemption 2. And that's not even all of them. I'm sure there's others I haven't even heard of or haven't been announced yet. Probably going to get announced at E3. Now there's 2 games on that list not yet released, but seem to be taking a different approach to the BR formula, which is what I'm looking for. And they are Mavericks, Proving Grounds, and Fear the Wolves. Now, I don't like Mavericks' name because that's what Logan Paul's 12-year-old fan base is called, but it looks to be doing things no other BR game is quite yet. The coolest feature is the ability to track footprints. So while you're running around the world, you're leaving behind these footprints, which other enemy players can see and track. So you're going to have to constantly be watching your back at all times. Something else cool is there's going to be wildlife. I don't know if that means non-hostile or hostile animals, but regardless, it's pretty cool to have animals roaming around the map, not just players. The final thing I'm liking about Mavericks is the 400 player servers. That's an insane amount of players running around on one map, and I think that can make for some seriously intense firefights. They even said there's a chance they could have 1,000 player servers, but I think that's a bit overkill. Are you with me on that? Now the other game, Fear the Wolves, is interesting because it's being created by the Stalker devs, and it's basically going to be a Stalker Battle Royale mode. They said that there's going to be 100 players per server, and on top of that you're going to have to worry about mutated creatures and animals creeping across the map. And there's going to be radiation zones that require a hazmat suit that you can find in the world, and the radiated zones contain some of the best loot that you can find in the game. Now, there's a good chance that both of these games fail to deliver what they're promising, but that's why I always keep my expectations low for everything Battle Royale related. Now, there's two features I really want to see in a Battle Royale game that doesn't currently exist in any of them that I've played, and that is gore and dead bodies that do not despawn. I think it would be nice to have body damage in a BR experience. I'd like to see bullet wounds when I shoot somebody, similar to PUBG's but more realistic, maybe like Max Payne 3's, and also head and limb dismemberment if using shotguns, explosives, or axes, machetes. It'd be cool to lop off a player's head and watch it roll down a hill, you know what I'm saying? I'd also like to see bodies stay in the world the whole match and never disappear. It really ruins my experience when I kill somebody in PUBG and a loot crate falls out of their ass and they disappear 10 seconds later. It's like, what the fuck, man? Fortnite's disappearing bodies makes sense, but PUBG is supposed to be based around reality. The bodies stayed in the Arma 3 mod, so they should stay in the standalone release too. And I don't think it's a performance issue because once a player dies, that's it. They don't respawn back into the server. Their bodies just become a lootable item. So now that I've talked about some BR games that I'm interested in and some features I'd like to see, let's talk about the AAA games getting a BR mode. Recently, there's been some info leaked or rumored about Call of Duty and Battlefield having a BR mode. And a few months back, it was leaked or rumored that Red Dead Redemption 2 was also going to feature a BR mode. Now, the one that I think would have the most interesting BR mode is definitely Red Dead Redemption 2, because there is yet to be a Western Battle Royale game released. And since it's Rockstar Games, I'm confident that they can make a really fun and different experience compared to the rest. Because, I mean, Rockstar Games, man, they put out the good shit. Grand Theft Autos, the Red Dead Redemptions, the Manhunts, the shit we like to play. And if anybody's gonna do a perfect Battle Royale mode, it's them. Now, Battlefield, them having a Battle Royale mode actually makes sense. They already have it where you can have big 64 player battles. So all they have to do is boost that player count a bit and booyah. They're ready to go. Plus, Battlefield has destructible environments, which would come in handy if you see a player run into a house and you have a few nades or other explosives. We need some BR games with destructible environments, not just doors, PUBG. And don't even say play Fortnite, because everything is destructible in that. Fuck that jazz. Now, Call of Duty, that's the one I'm worried about. Because the most players you can get in a match in Call of Duty games are usually like between 12 and 24. And I read that they might not even be able to reach 100 players for their BR mode by the time the game launches, which is a red flag. On top of that, it's rumored that Black Ops 4 won't even have a damn single player campaign, and people assume the BR mode is replacing it. That's a big mistake. I know that the multiplayer is what keeps people coming back to the COD games even after they beat the single player mode. But you gotta understand, the single player mode is just as important as the rest of the game. You can't cut a big chunk of your player base just because you want to bandwagon a trend. You could always release Black Ops 4 with the single player campaign and then have the BR mode released later as DLC or some shit. I personally don't care about COD anymore, haven't played the last 3 games. I still play Black Ops 2 Zombies with my buddy once in a while, but newer CODs just don't really interest me. Even though I don't play Call of Duty anymore, it doesn't mean I don't care about the player base that still does and looks forward to the story mode every year. Story campaigns have been around since the very first Call of Duty, and you can't change that because you think you'll sell more copies off of what's hot right now. Remember, you can't replace a staple with a paperclip. Think about it, Activision. Alright, so I think this video has gone on a little longer than expected, so it's about time I wrap it up like my penis on date night. My final thoughts about Battle Royale are the genre or mode or whatever you want to call it is on the verge of oversaturation. There are so many versions of it out right now, and there are still probably 50 more releasing by the end of this fucking year. We can't stop it. It's in the developers' hands. Do they follow this trend to try and make a quick buck, or do they give us something original? It's up to them. Plenty of us have spoken how we feel, but sadly I think there's more people for Battle Royale games than against them, so they will continue to pop up until a new trend starts. I just hope that during the era of Battle Royale, we at least get one that surpasses all of our expectations and puts Fortnite and PUBG to shame. There's still time, there's still hope. Fingers crossed, Freddy. So, what do you guys think about the Battle Royale takeover? Are you excited for future Battle Royale games, or are you hoping we get a new creative IP by the end of the year? Let me know below, and thanks for watching, you radical rascals.